Happy almost 250-year anniversary of America, America. And if you recall yesterday, if I watched my video, which will be in my playlist linked at the end of the video, and I'll try to link it down below. I did a video on the sweltering heat that's happening in Europe, part 2, and I came to the realization that people outside of the United States, shocking as this may be, may not like Americans too well. Specifically France, Germany. Haven't heard anything about Spain, but I'm sure it's out there. Let's try Europe. Let's go there. And you know how you start looking at things and then the algorithm, whether you're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or, whatever other paraphernalia apps you're on, decides that this is for you? Well, someone said, this guy was for me. And before we get into this series, it's going to be the apology tour of the Europeans who are here for the World Cup, whether it's here in New York or throughout the United States, the shock and awe and disbelief of how Americans and America really is, conversely to what they've been told. And hey, my name is Lena and welcome to my channel. I hope that you stay a while. I hope that you enjoyed this content. And if you're not subscribed yet, or you're just new to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing because I'm trying to have a lot of fun here. I have different topics because I am not a one niche type of girl. So you can take a look at my different playlists. I go through Sex and the City and Just Like Crap Recrap. I go through different types of vlogs and different types of topics that tickle my fancy, float my boat, whatever the hell you want to do it, what do you want to say. And I am being very, very daring today. I am sleeveless. And this is a first. Okay. I don't usually go this far. I usually have cap sleeve or some type of sleeve. But for the 250-year anniversary, this is my third commemorative shirt of America. Let's see if I can show you. Let's put you back a little bit. Sorry. Don't try to give you boob action, but it's what it is. So this one is a no sleeve flag, very well made. I will link the similar products that I can find. It's probably what I'm going to wear tomorrow for the block party. Let me bring you close. Come here, come here, come here. Where are you going? Where are you going? Come here, come here, come here. There, comfortable. I'm probably going to wear this for the block party if it happens tomorrow because I am in New York City and it is scheduled to have rain starting from tonight until tomorrow at some point. So I don't know how far, but no matter what, it's going to be 95, 100 degrees. Today is going to be the worst of the worst. So let's take a look at the first that got my goat when I heard it on TikTok. And I said, what is happening here? What's going on? Stay tuned.
America, you deserve and are owed an apology. And I'm going to say sorry on behalf of all the countries outside America and their media and the narrative they paint about America. Hundreds and thousands of fans for the World Cup are now seeing America through their own eyes, realizing the narrative they've been fed is false. And they're now realizing America is not the place that they thought it was. And I am sorry the media in these countries outside of America paints you the way they do. America is rich in culture, scenery, the people are amazing. And the media in the countries outside of America paint this weird narrative that it's a place that you shouldn't go. But now the tides are changing. There is a shift that is happening. And I'm sorry you've been painted in this light for so long. And I'm so happy America is finally receiving the flowers that it deserves. We've all seen the videos of the Europeans experiencing America for what it truly is, and it's amazing. When I first landed in America all those years ago, I came with an open mind. I saw it through my own eyes, and it's exactly what is happening right now with all the travelling fans for the World Cup and the foreigners. They are seeing America through their own eyes, and they're realising how amazing it actually is.
I accept your apology. That made my heart smile. Well, first of all, it made my heart smile, but it was also a conundrum for me because I'm like, well, dear God, how bad is it that they talk about us out there? It's like one of those people or country, when you have a friend that you think that they're your friend and then all of a sudden you find out they know be your friend. and they're backstabbing you and talking crap about you behind your back, and to your face they're all smiles and lovey-dovey and everything's wonderful and hunky-dory, I must have been living under a rock. Well, probably, because my version of finding out what people felt about America was moving to Miami. And if you know anything about Miami, it's little, what is it called? It's not Little Havana, because it's more than that. It's Venezuelan, Cubans who are fighting with each other for some reason, Nicaraguans, it's Spaniards. It's a real Spanish European mix out there. And they come at America at a very different angle. It's hard to explain. Maybe I'll make a video about that one day. I am going to make a video about my experience in Miami, and being Nuyorican, because there's a lot of Puerto Ricans out there. There's a lot of Dominicans out there as well. But the majority is European, Latin culture. And they view us, and they tell us to our face. Because when I open my mouth, they can tell I'm not from a Latin country for some reason. Someone even said, "Are you Hawaiian?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am Hawaiian." Mm-hmm. Hello, freaking ha. Okay. But naive is, I don't know. Maybe I do look Hawaiian to you guys. Do I? I don't know. So at the end of the day, to know that people from Germany, from Ireland, from England, from the UK, all those places have a certain disdain for Americans, and then to hear the reaction of these people coming from the World Cup that have never visited the United States. And of course, they're getting a microscopic look, because they're not going through every single state. And I'm not saying that America is not beautiful. I'm not saying America is not great. We are. I'm very proud of being an American, Nuyorican, whatever the hell you want to call me. I love it. Don't put me down. Don't put my place down. But I'm not naive either. I know that bad things are happening. And like I said in my video yesterday, not every place you go, whether it's the United States or outside of the United States, is wonderful. There is no one perfect place. But let's take a look at this emotional visitor for the World Cup and how he feels about visiting here. That actually brought a surprise again, but made me cry. Stay tuned.
A German fan is brought to tears not because Germany was eliminated from the World Cup, but because of how he was treated in America.
I fall in love with this country, and this was so emotional. I even cried in the stadium.
Call it a stereotype or a reputation that New Englanders are cold, even rude. But that couldn't be further away from the truth, at least not for a lot of visitors that are here for the World Cup. Sebastian Kraus has been spending the last several weeks in the U.S. following the German soccer team from Houston to Boston. Sebastian was afraid of coming over, saying that the news in Europe painted a picture of America being dangerous. But at every stop from the moment he landed, he says everyone has treated him with kindness and respect and has not felt unsafe.
Americans are not rude, Germans are not rude. If we are together, we can achieve great things.
Those experiences were topped by a New Englander's generosity. A Red Sox fan who, after a German celebration at Fenway Park, offered Sebastian and his friends to give him a ride to their hotel. It was a culmination of all his moments of joy that then led to this. That stranger is Bob Cyrus. He says all he wanted to do was to make Sebastian feel welcome.
Love USA.
Enjoy your time in the US.
To me, I watched the video by myself maybe 40 times. I had tears in my eyes.
Just like many others have when he's traveled the world. And yes, he too believes that New Englanders and Bostonians are actually friendly.
Aww. You see, Boston, New Englanders, all of that, New Yorkers. I've said this a long time. New Yorkers are born and raised, are not predominantly rude. It's the ones that are transplanted here that are mostly rude. I have come to find them because I'm a New Yorker. I can say that. Okay. Now, as a New Yorker as well, we're very fast paced. We don't have patience. That's for sure. I can tell you that's no bounds about it. If you're in one of those touristy areas and it's a work, predominantly people working, and you stop to smell the roses, get the hell out of the way of a New Yorker because we need to go. Okay. But to know that this guy was so emotionally moved. Now, again, I'll play devil's advocate. That doesn't happen all the time, in the sense that you can find dangerous places, dangerous people. You can't be very trusting either. But it was nice to know that somebody that took the time to get trusted and to be there for someone made the news, that it wasn't just all doom and gloom. I think that's what made me feel good about it, because it's like you always hear the bad stuff, right? Like you always hear this one got kidnapped, this one got hurt, this one was taken, this one was whatever, and you never really have the feel good news. So it's nice to see that side, especially for the World Cup, and the reactions that people are getting about being here is so interesting. Now, these next set of videos, well, the next video I'm going to show you, are people that are visiting and eating here. I'm going to give you my thoughts after. Let's take a look at these people who are discovering American food for the first time. Stay tuned and subscribe.
I'm in awe of the United States of America.
I'm in America. When they say everything in America is big, I understand it. Why the hell is this quesadilla the size of my head? And I've got 3 of them.
Americans, you are so lucky.
Whoa. And you take your fingers and you lift that up and you eat it. Okay. Not with a fork.
Nothing comes close to the USA.
Chick-fil-A for the first time as a family.
Chick-fil-A.
So good. Dang.
Women walking alone with fancy handbags, jewelry on, glasses on. They're not being harassed, nothing. If they were South Africa, gosh, first of all, I wouldn't be able to walk through this blimmin' park by myself.
Everything just big, ginormous, extra large.
Oh my god.
Give it a go. I'm talking about that chicken is delicious.
Better than KFC.
Oh,
I'm saying so.
I'm saying it's better than KFC. It's good. It's good. They have Bible verses on the bottom of their cup. Never. I just feel like you're so lucky to live here.
Everything in the US simply beats anything I've ever experienced anywhere in the world.
God bless America.
This place is freaking awesome. You can't make this up. This is too wonderful. All glory goes to God for preserving this wonderful country. Yeah, we make 'em big out here in the United States of America. We're large and in charge. And that's why you need to be careful. You can't overindulge, because we are large and in charge. You know, we are been known to supersize a lot of things. And for apparently people who have not experienced this volume of food in these different types of countries are in for a culture shock. Now, admittedly so, I've only been to Spain. Okay. But I went to Spain when I was very young. So I remember it vividly. When I say very young, for me, very young is like 10, 11 years old. And I stayed there for a month. So I don't have the worldly experience of what size food is in these different countries. I am dying to find out. Because as fascinated as people are coming here, I'm sure I will be equally as fascinated on the different types of cultures and foods and sizes and proportions. I've seen the YouTube videos, people traveling vlogs, etc., but there's nothing like actually visiting. But I can tell you, just by watching the video of the travel vlogs and being an American and a New Yorker, that we have portion sizes that probably feed families that are in other locations. So my advice to anyone that is here, enjoy yourself, but be realistic when you get back home. You may have to do a little bit of a jog around your area, because we gain weight fast here. Okay, we do. It's nothing wrong with wanting to enjoy yourself, but, we can't live off this. This is why we have these medications that are weight loss. Let's be realistic. That's part of the problem. You know, I don't know how we would feel if we were to go down to the portion sizes that from your region or country. Please drop it in the comments below where you're from, where you're watching from. And are you just as surprised when you see the volume of food that the Europeans are experiencing here? I would love to know. And another thing I heard is that Europeans are very happy to be here for the World Cup, because part of my series was about the no AC that's happening in your heat dome in your region in Europe. And the people who were able to escape that come here for the World Cup are experiencing AC, and they're loving every minute of it. Loving every minute of it. I go back to what I said in my video yesterday. I think that there's going to be a generational shift when it comes to aircon in Europe, because you know, when you can't miss something you never had, but unfortunately you can know what it's like to have it or hear about it from other people when they come to your country, and you're like, how come you don't have AC? Or you briefly touch it when you visit another country. You're going to be like, what in the hell did I do all my life? So, you know, I think that's the experience that a lot of Europeans are feeling here too. They're like, wow, you know, I can understand why aircon is a thing out here. And I throw my sympathy out to you again out there, you know, who are suffering through the heat. But now that we know that portion sizes are large and in charge in the United States, how is it to go shopping? How is it for these Europeans to experience what I call everyday living? Walmart, Target, Costco, you know, general supermarket. Okay. And I think I'm taking this for granted because I never even thought about it. But before I get into that, let's take a look at some people who are just supersized surprised when they go out shopping. They do.
So, we are back in Walmart. This is the biggest tourist attraction I can have as a European. It's like a museum, literally like a museum. So, let's go inside. As you can see, Walmart, it's huge. It's so huge. Yeah, I've been lost here once. So I was just walking around the whole Walmart and I lost myself because it's so huge. You can't compare this to Europe. There are the big pizzas. 1.26 kilos of pizza. We'll look for some bread, for some real bread. How many ingredients? The ingredients. How many ingredients? Oh my. This is bigger than my future. BBC, how you call it, huh? I mean, look at this. Look at the size of it, huh? You can beat someone up with this piece of meat. There we go for our Hispanics here, huh? Un pedicito de Mexico. Yes, product of Mexico, I guess. 1.89 liters of ice cream. Oh, but I heard that's the best ice cream in the United States. I've never tried it though. I mean, I can't do this all by myself. I can't eat this lot. Okay, there we got the big pickles again. 3.8 liters of pickles. Even all of this. 3.78, yeah, a whole gallon. Holy gallon, a whole gallon. For cream?
It's just like the fluff.
The fluff? Like the fluff?
Yeah.
Is it fluff? You can put this on.
Yeah.
Oh, you've tried it already?
No.
You've heard it, huh? Here we go. Have you ever seen 3 liters in Europe? 3 liters. 3. No, 3. American 3. Huh? Oh. There we go. I know Arizona too. You got this in Europe, but 1 gallon? Never saw a gallon in Europe. 60x. 60. I wish we would have this in Europe. 60x. Milk. 1 gallon of milk. Have you ever seen this in Europe? No.
Is it just me, or is this guy getting a shopper's high just by walking through Walmart? Walmart, okay? Never mind Costco, okay? Because that will kill him. And you know what's crazy is that we are so desensitized. You know, my son goes to BJ's, which is the equivalent to Costco's. But, you know, you got to understand, we're feeding a family of 5. Yeah, 5. I'm the 5th wheel. So they go once a month. So, and it doesn't even cover some of the, they don't really drink a lot of milk, ironically, but staples. But eggs is considered staple, but they buy the big eggs, right? So we have it for a month. So when you're feeding a large family 3 times a day, and not only that, we make lunch. I make lunch for my to-be daughter-in-law and my son. So they don't order out when they're out at work. So we're feeding them at night and we're making lunch to go. So I am curious to know from what country you're watching from. How do you shop? And I mean this sincerely, not to be sarcastic. I don't know. I know that Costco's or some type of warehouse shopping may not be out there. So is it a daily thing that you go to, a daily grocer, weekly? How do you do it? You know, I am curious to know. And again, I've seen YouTube travelers, but you got to understand, YouTube travelers are traveling, right? They're not there living. I've only rarely seen people who are traveling and doing Airbnb and they have to shop for themselves and they record it. I think I've seen 1 or 2, and if I really dig, I probably can find. But a lot of travelers are not doing that. So a lot of these World Cup visitors are here long term. So they're able to actually go out and either purchase what they need to purchase because they're staying at Airbnbs, they're not all staying at hotels or staying with friends and family, whatever the case may be. And, you know, the World Cup is not all day. So they get to go out and actually see America, America, from whatever state that they're watching from, staying in. Texas, Boston, New York City. I forgot where else it is being held. So, you know, when you're not at the World Cup and it's not playing in your region, what do? You go out. So, you know, the experience of watching them, see these huge places that are normal to us, whether it's proportion sizes at restaurants or proportion sizes at a supermarket, or what, you know, I can't really say that Walmart is a supermarket, not that big one, you know, warehouse shopping. It's nice to see. It's nice to see that they're just as shocked, because I'm sure that if I had to stay somewhere else, because I'm so accustomed to having so much convenience, you know, I would probably be inconvenient if I had to stay long term somewhere else, and I would get to feel the day to day, you know, and be like, wow, this is very different. So, you know, and ladies and gentlemen and anybody in between, I don't know if you noticed, okay, or I have. A lot of these people are very attractive. Okay. Take note. You may have to expand your repertoire, expand your region if you're into that dating thing. And think outside the American box. You know, you may just be able to get them for, you know, a pack of 60 eggs and a 3-liter soda. That's another dating app I can think about. I'm trying to hook you guys up because my dating experience is going to be dead. I'm not going to be dating. But I'd be happy to help anybody else who wants to find someone. And some of these guys are cutie patooties. So let's take a look at why we as Americans think that we are the top of the world from the perspective of other people who have come in here to visit. Stay tuned.
We're a group of Australians that just arrived in LA from Seattle, and I realized as soon as I got here that no wonder a lot of Americans get this stick for thinking that the USA is the whole world, because every city is like a different country. I feel like I'm in Rio here in Los Angeles. I'm just in one corner in Long Beach of Los Angeles, and in Seattle felt completely different. I've been to New York before, felt completely different. I've been to San Fran, felt completely different. Everywhere feels like a different country. No wonder, and there's so many different nationalities, so no wonder they think that this is the whole world.
Because this is not normal everywhere in the world. Not a single house has even got burglar bars on it. I was raised with every single window had burglar bars on it. We had compartments in our houses so that when they do break in, and you can go run to the other side of the house for protection. So don't take it for granted. Enjoy every moment of it, because this is what is under attack, severely under attack. This type of lifestyle. And I won't give up on it. America is awesome, America is safe, and I want God to continuously bless this country, because that right there, if that was South Africa, there would be 2 security guards with guns standing there, because people are going around robbing, raping, and murdering people on a daily basis. We don't have to accept that yet.
To the first guy, who's Aussie, and he's visiting LA and has been, going around for the World Cup. Yeah, that is what America is about. Different cultures. I can feel different in New York. I felt different when I went to Miami. I felt different when I've been to Boston. I haven't done Philadelphia yet, but I am curious. I'm not too curious about California. Sorry to say. I actually was for a long time, but not anymore. But yes, the homeland, like the how could I put it? What is it? The homestead, the middle of the country is very different from, the East Coast, the West Coast. And, I can't imagine people listening and seeing this for the first time in that way from other regions. And it's because of the connectiveness that we have now with the internet. That we're able to hear other people's perspective. They get to see and they get to share and experience. And, I am really in awe of this. I would love to meet some of these people that are coming here for the first time and have a real sit down, long talk with them and just get their understanding. The same way that I would love to go outside of the United States and do the same and meet people and, see what they think and feel. That is probably the most important part of my YouTube channel, is reaching so many people and reading your comments from different parts of the world, how you're living, how you feel that we are living. And now that you've gotten all this data from people that are visiting here from your region for the World Cup, has it swayed you a little bit? Has it changed your mind a little bit? Are you more curious, or do you believe any of this? Because I think that they're wholeheartedly, they feel this way. And I think what's part of the shock to me was the narrative that was being spoken about America outside of America. To me, it's shocking. To the second one, obviously he's from South Africa, and he's in the part of, I don't know where, I can't remember where he said he's visiting at that moment, where there's no bars in the window, there's no, people are walking freely. Listen, he has an extreme version of his life wherever he's from, obviously, and he is in a part of the United States that is the small part, because in every part of every state, there are areas that are not nice. They have bars in the window, houses and apartment complexes. They're dirty. There's homelessness. There's robberies. There's a cornucopia of things happening out here. He's obviously in a very good area. And for him, it's a complete turnaround, because I feel that from what he's stating in the video that it's all of South Africa that you can't even walk around, which is, probably what he's trying to say, because he's not in all of America. Okay. But, it's kind of sad, when you hear that, and he's, envisioning a life out here that's very different than what he's been experiencing. And I can appreciate that because I've seen, not been, but seen, but lived. I lived in the Bronx, bad areas and good areas, but there's nowhere, nothing like what he's saying, to that extent where you can't even walk in a park. Can't even, you can't. There's some countries that are just not good. They're not okay, and we have to appreciate what he's trying to say as well, that it's true, so, but again, he's like in a very different area of the United States. And if he goes outside of it and take him to areas that do have what he's claiming, he would probably be just as shocked. Let's be realistic. So what's interesting to me is that I'm getting more involved in what the Europeans are thinking about us, and I'm enjoying this. So I hope that you're enjoying this too. So let's take a look at this clip of more people visiting and going to the big warehouse shopping that I had to include because I thought it was hysterical. And I, again, I never even thought about it. Well, I did because I know that we're supersizing everything, but not to this extent. Not this extent. So stick on.
You guys see the pew-pews here?
Yeah, man.
There's no one even behind the register.
I know, it's crazy.
So you just take one?
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Are you joking me?
I didn't know that Costco had your beans.
Honey, this is insane.
So this is like it's actually a pretty big onion for an Australian onion. That's the average brown onion in America.
For lifetime. You need that much?
Wow. Yep. That is the size of ice cream you can buy.
You don't need that much ice cream.
Stay to this. Pumpkin pie, 3.63 pounds. Look at the size of that. That is one of the best products in America that you can't get in England.
No way. The whole kitchen of the back. A whole within kitchen.
Do it then.
What's going on?
Say what you want about America, but we make them big. And you know what? I'm all right with that. We do have our faults. God help us. But we are blessed. God bless America. So, I haven't visited all of the United States. So before I go out to the Europeans, some of my bucket list areas would be Ireland, like I said, Greece. I've been to Spain. Italy is on my list, Paris, but those are much later in my life. I'm looking more towards, I would like to visit the UK. So those three, I can go further into my years, but definitely I want to see Ireland. I want to see Greece. I want to see Australia. Those are my top 3 bucket list areas that I would like to go and visit. But, finding this new appreciation from looking at it from the European perspective, and because I have not visited every single state in our America, and with the 250-year anniversary and me feeling very patriotic, because let's be realistic. I'm 56, so by the time we hit 300, that's another 50. I will most likely not be around to celebrate the 300-year anniversary of America. And I was very young when we hit the 200 year, and I don't remember this palooza at all that's about to happen. So, I'm very grateful to be able to appreciate it now. There's going to be a lot of festivities throughout all the states. It's the 4th of July. It's huge. And it's not just another year. It's our anniversary. And I think that before I travel outside of the United States, I definitely want to visit every one of the states that we have here. I'm very curious. I probably won't be too surprised because I am an American. But you know what's interesting? I thought about this, and I think I have to look it up because I'm pretty sure. The one place that is from the United States that I would probably like to visit the most, because I don't see too much representation here in New York City, nor have I come across many of them in the few travels that I've had, is Hawaii. There's not a big Hawaiian representation in New York. There's a lot of different cultures here, a lot. I know where I can go when I want Greek food and the Greek experience, Haitian, soul food, the very Puerto Rican food, Dominican food, they're very different. Different types of cultures, because I'm born and raised in New York and I'm just used to the melting pot of it, and I know where to go when I want certain foods. But I can tell you this much. I have not seen too many Hawaiian culture here in New York, rightfully so, probably not. And just the island itself, I know it's very expensive to live there. I know it's very expensive to visit. But if there's one state that I would really like to see up close and personal, would be Hawaii. Because I would be interested in the islands and the mountains and the greenery and all that stuff, Grand Canyon, yes. Different states. So I think in my mind, traveling the 50 states will be more ideal for me. And then later in my years, if I can muster up the strength, visit at least 3 of the top of my 6 countries that I want to visit. Let's hope between now and, let's say, 65, I can achieve that. I don't know. Again, it's a bucket list. But what I do like to know is where you're from. Because maybe I can't visit you, but I can sure the hell talk to you and communicate with you and engage with you and my community of many, many people from many, many different places. Because that's the beautiful thing about having a YouTube channel and actually engaging and getting out there and reaching from here to around the world that I reach. I appreciate your comments and I appreciate your engagement. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Listen, have a wonderful weekend, whether you're celebrating the 250-year anniversary of the Americas, you're visiting, you're going to have a hell of a good time, or you're just watching from abroad, afar, across the pond, or you're doing your own celebration of any kind, or just relaxing for the weekend. I hope that you enjoy it. Because you know what? I want to thank everyone. And I want to wish you a blessed day, weekend, week, month, year. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Mwah.